Hello, everyone. Welcome to Just Ask Answered. This is all about the questions that were sent to me by viewers that wanted answers. And wow, I was overwhelmed by your response. Thank you so much. I had to actually shut it down. I don't think it went longer than an hour or two because there were so many questions coming in. Thank you, everyone. Now, as you know, I'm unable to answer everyone's questions, and I allowed myself to be guided to which questions will and will not be answered at this point in time. It doesn't mean that your questions won't ever be answered if they're not answered in this session, but the questions that I am going to be answering were separated from the questions that aren't going to be answered at this time. So if your question doesn't get answered in this go round, you will have an opportunity down the road to ask it again, and you will need to ask it again. I feel that Spirit chose the questions that were chosen for the sheer purpose of reaching as many of you as possible, because like I said, we are all connected, right? And as a collective, if one of us has this question, it's likely that we all have that question, because we all at one time or another are going through the same things. We're all transitioning. We're just at different timelines in the transitions, right? So the first question here that we are answering is, how can I bring my soulmate and I into union? Now, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to get specific that way because, like I said, these are timeless. They are also for the collective, okay? So, and you know who you are if you ask that question. And does it really matter? Because if you have that question and it's not the way you worded it, it's still getting answered, right? So anyway, thank you so much for your responses. Let's answer this first question. How can I bring my soulmate and I into union? Okay, Spirit, what can we tell them? Please and thank you. Okay. So what we have here is the Knight of Wands, the Seven of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. So it's kind of interesting that the Seven of Swords is flanked by two knights. And if you notice, I don't know if you can see this or not. Hopefully you can see it to some degree. This knight is facing that way, this knight facing this way, and here you are in the middle. Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords, and you being pulled in two different directions. So whoever this is an answer for, you feel like you're being pulled in two different directions. And the two different directions are, do I stay? Do I go? Do I hold on? Do I let go? What you need to know is that if you're in a position where the relationship itself between you and your soulmate has felt like it's full of highs and lows, hills and valleys, up and down, in and out, back and forth, that was for a reason. It doesn't mean your soulmate is a player or is playing you, okay? It needed to happen, and it was being concealed. The reason it was happening was being concealed from you. You couldn't see it. You didn't understand. You didn't have an understanding. You weren't capable of understanding why that was taking place. But it was moving you forward. If you notice the Knight of Wands facing that way, anything in the deck that faces the left, that's the past. This one is facing the future. And like I said, you're here in the dark, not knowing not having a clue. You don't understand. You can't see what's happening. Nothing is as it seems when you're in this place, okay? So, and what they're showing me is a tug of war. And it's exactly what these knights are telling me. One's going this way, one's going this way. So it's making this shift back and forth. And it's the typical back and forth, in and out, on and off again in soulmate relationships, especially the twin flame. Now, I don't want to go into the twin flame thing because it changes the dynamic of how things are perceived by the viewers. I do want to clarify. Like I get that things happened for a reason, and you are not or were not meant to understand why they were happening, but it was to move you forward. Okay? I want to clarify the Knight of Swords, please, angels. Thank you. Four of Swords. Okay. So this is all about healing. You are to take a step back. I know the question is, how can I bring my soulmate and I into union? You're not supposed to. You're supposed to take a step back. Do some healing. Let's get another card there, please, angels. You need to not only heal, recharge, etc., but take a step back and try to see the bigger picture here. Because look at this. Knight of Swords. And the message coming through for you with this card is, don't rush things. Don't try to move forward too fast. He's very impulsive. The Knight of Swords is very impulsive. And the reason that that came out as confirmation or clarifier on the Knight of Swords is because this card here is talking about you moving forward into the future. You moving forward, period. You need to move forward. But here it's telling you to not, don't try to make things happen too fast. Keep moving forward. But move forward taking care of yourself, doing the work on you, gaining spiritual knowledge, growing spiritually and personally. Allow that to take place. Because if you move too fast without going through that, it's not going to work. You have the ability to create great things and to bring this to fruition. You do have that ability. This is going to happen. It is going to work out. But you have to let it happen. Try to let this unfold naturally. Don't force it. Don't force this for sure. I want to get a Synchronicity Oracle card, please, angels. Yeah. Okay. Nothing is as it seems because you are going through life-altering changes. So is your person. Now, when I created this deck, I was seeing a bunch of different numbers quite frequently, synchronistically. And I asked my guide what the numbers meant. And so that's what's on these cards. I put them on the cards so that I would know. If you have been seeing 555 lately, then you know that it means life-altering changes. If you haven't, you might start now. And this tells you what it means. But you are going through big changes here. Absolutely. And you don't know what's coming. And if you look at this card, look at the picture here. If you look at the card like this, it's kind of dark and murky and scary down here. Look at how it changes as we move up the card. Sunny, bright, enlightenment. knowledge, wisdom, right? Stop. My little girl wants to go for her WALK. But it's not time yet. Okay, so let's get a Just Ask Oracle, please, angels. Thank you. Wow, that was definitely the card that they wanted you to have. Oh my God. This is your twin flame. Wow. Not just a soulmate. It is a twin flame. All the more reason to let this unfold naturally, because the two of you are not meant to come together until you're both energetically in proximity of each other. Because if you're not, you're just going to repel each other, which is what's been going on. That's why you're moving this way, and you're moving this way, and this way, and this way. One of you is moving this way, the other one's going this way. You're repelling each other. Okay? So try not to move this forward fast. Let it unfold naturally. It is going to work. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. It's your twin. You don't have to worry about it. You're going through a bunch of changes. You are transforming. They are transforming. Nothing is as it seems, and it's all being concealed. It's all happening behind the scenes. So just let it be. Let it happen the way it needs to happen. That is the message here. I hope this helps. It's what it's all about. So thank you again for all of your questions. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.